When you are born and raised in a place where a lot of past crimes go unpunished, you tend to think that's how things work in other parts of the world. But Mr. Charles Uchenna NwaDavid was in for a rude awakening upon his arrival in the United States of America. You see, Charles Uchenna NwaDavid is a real estate mogul. He's the founder and CEO of Chavid Properties Limited, a real estate company based in Abuja. Now, back in Abuja, the capital city of Nigeria, in the eyes of many, Charles Uchenna NwaDavid is a well-to-do businessman who made his fortune legally. But he had a dirty past, one that he thought he had gotten away with. From 2016 to September 2019, Mr. Charles was involved in a couple of romance scams. Coincidentally, that was the same period he founded his real estate company, Chavid Properties Limited. From Nigeria, using a fake profile, he would target lonely and desperate women in the US on dating websites. Posing as an interested lover, he builds a relationship with them online, and over time, when trust has been established with his victims through regular conversations, he then comes up with financial emergencies that would require his victims to send him money. Emergencies like unexpected hospitalization or need for money to secure a multi-million-dollar inheritance. After the money has been sent to him, he then cuts the victim off. One of his victims in Massachusetts, not only did he successfully deceive her into sending him money, he also tricked her into becoming what is referred to as an azaman. An azaman is someone who provides a bank account to scammers that they use to collect money from their victims abroad. So, it was a bank account in the US that his other victims were sending the money to, and Mr. Charles had access to her account from Nigeria. Through his access to the lady's bank account, he was able to convert all the money he had received from other clients, including that of the account owner, who was tricked into willingly giving him money and also receiving money from other victims on his behalf. He converted the money to Bitcoin worth over $2.5 million and then moved it to his wallet on local Bitcoins, a now defunct Bitcoin trading platform, where he could then easily move the money to Nigeria or any country of his choice without any trace of how the money was made or where it was coming from. $2.5 million. Currently, that's over 4 billion naira. He went on to build a beautiful life for himself, started a real estate company, got married, was dishing out motivational and inspirational advice, and was traveling around the world. In his mind, his victims were losers who had already made peace with their loss and moved on with their lives. So he kept on with his adventurous traveling and posing as a successful businessman. But what he did not know was that his victims were having a get-together with law enforcement agents in the US, and that the FBI was building a case against him in Boston years after he had defrauded Americans online. About 6 of his victims living in Massachusetts, Florida, New Jersey and Kansas were identified by authorities, and they were convinced to cooperate with the FBI in building a case against Mr. Charles Uchenna NwaDavid. 6 of his victims, including the lady whose account the money was sent to, all appeared before a grand jury and willingly testified against Mr. Charles. And on the 23rd of January 2024, a federal grand jury in Boston indicted Mr. Charles Uchenna NwaDavid on charges of mail fraud and money laundering. In April 2025, he was in the UK and decided to travel to the US from there, completely unaware that he had been indicted in the US over a year ago and that his movements were being monitored. Upon arrival, on the 7th of April 2025, he was arrested at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas, and the next day, April 8, 2025, he appeared in federal court in Fort Worth, Texas, after which he was detained and is to be transferred to Boston, where the trial would take place. As I said earlier, he's indicted on charges of mail fraud and money laundering. For the mail fraud charge, the crime was allegedly committed when he deceptively collected money from his various victims online, and the charge provides for a sentence of up to 20 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release, a fine of up to $250,000 or twice the loss to the victim, restitution and forfeiture. For the money laundering charge, the crime was allegedly committed when he converted the money he fraudulently obtained into cryptocurrency with the intention of concealing or erasing the process in which the money was made in the first place. The money laundering charge provides for a sentence of up to 20 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release, and a fine of up to $500,000 or twice the value of the property involved in the laundering transactions, restitution and forfeiture. If convicted of both charges, Mr. Charles Uchenna NwaDavid could face up to 40 years in prison unless the sentences are served concurrently. Of course, it is important to note that the 20 years in prison for each charge is the maximum sentence and he could get less than that. Regardless of the evidence available, all these remain allegations until he is proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law. As of the time of making this video, the date of his trial has not been set yet. Depending on how the trial goes, if it's a public trial or if the court transcript will be released, I may give an update on the case in the future, so do well to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out.